So much. For the first time since the shutdown started, the Senate will work through the weekend in an attempt to reach a deal to reopen the government. As Christian Benavidez reports, the stalemate is having an impact on air travel and for those who rely on food assistance.
At the 11th hour, the Supreme Court halted a court order requiring the federal government to fund food assistance. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson issued the order in response to an emergency appeal by the Trump administration, which has so far refused to dip into its reserves to fund food assistance. Jackson wrote the lower court should deal with the matter swiftly. Janelle Daniels of New Jersey has suffered. SNAP ran out of funds last week.
It's hard to try to depend on other people to help you. I'm such a very independent, I try to help anybody else in need the best way I can, and it's very hard for me to ask for help.
It comes as air travel has been snarled by the shutdown. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy issued an emergency order for airlines to cut 10% of their flights at 40 major airports due to surging air traffic controllers' sick calls occurring with little warning as they work without pay due to the shutdown.
We see more incursions on tarmacs throughout the country. And we have more complaints from pilots about stress from air traffic controllers and more complaints about the lack of responsiveness from controllers.
This is a reasonable offer.
On Friday, Democrats said they'd be willing to reopen the government if Republicans agreed to extend for another year tax credits for the Affordable Care Act.
The Democrats have gone, they're crazy.
But Republicans are holding firm that the government should reopen before any negotiations take place.
Now, President Trump is urging Senate Republicans to end the filibuster to allow government funding to pass without any Democratic votes. But right now, it's unclear if there's enough Republican support to eliminate the 60-vote requirement. And hundreds of flights were canceled on Friday and thousands more were delayed due to a combination of staffing issues and the flight cuts.
Honestly, I think it's ridiculous. They need to get it together and do what they have to do to satisfy the rest of the world. This is crazy.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says even when the government reopens, it will still take time for things to get back to normal. As a courtesy, most airlines are waiving fees if you have to make changes. They advise flyers with upcoming trips to check ahead and to make sure your flight is on time. And in Atlanta, many travelers are opting for other options to avoid delays or cancellations at the airport. Sandro Martinez flew into Atlanta from New Jersey. His next stop is South Carolina, but instead of flying, he's taking a Greyhound bus to get there since it's not impacted by the shutdown.
The Greyhound, it's a lot quicker, and I actually know that it's going to be running more efficiently, and it's not run through the government as well, because most of the airports are.
Other travelers are opting for rental cars instead. Dave Shea, an Atlanta-based travel expert, says one-way car rentals may not be as pricey as they have been in the past, but he also says there are things to consider before you rent.
Definitely check the fine print on every step of the way along your booking. Always click the little drop down that says taxes and fees. Look for the breakdown, make sure there's no surprises. And then also when you're going through the checkout process, there's always options for insurance and whatnot. Check with your credit card. You may have insurance for free.
Now, in the case you are planning to fly, Shea recommends investing in TSA pre-check and for the ultimate insurance, going as far as buying a backup plane ticket. Meanwhile, several national chain restaurants are offering free kids' meals to help SNAP recipients get through the funding dry spell. TGI Fridays is one of them. So through November 20th, families who eat at its restaurants get one free kids' meal with each adult entree meal with a $10 minimum. It's limited to one kids' meal per adult per day. After the November 20th date, the chain will offer the deal every Tuesday through the end of the year. Denny's, Ruby Tuesdays, Huddle House, and other chain restaurants are also offering free kids' meals for food stamp recipients. And restaurant and grocery delivery services are also joining in. DoorDash pledged to provide 1 million free meals and waive delivery fees for about 300,000 grocery orders for SNAP recipients. Instacart and GoPuff are also both offering discounted deals.